I believe that because of how good ChatGPT is these days with 4.0 and now 0.1 reasoning and new models coming out inside of ChatGPT, I believe you can get almost any kind of writing you need done by ChatGPT. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how I use ChatGPT to write a 2,000 word blog, edit it, and get it to above a 70 SEO optimization score with a little bit of human editing in just under 20 minutes. You'll often hear me say this: I believe that if you match the right AI tool with the right goal, you're gonna win big. And I mean like 25x efficiency gains, which I am interested in. That's what I want to share with you, not just a 10% gain here and there. I think that we can have gigantic efficiency gains because of how we can match up AI tools with goals. If we do that correctly, we're going to see amazing results. ChatGPT with 0.1 reasoning and what's coming with iterative launches is literally the best writer you could possibly hire on earth. In fact, I think it's better than most human writers out there. And that is saying a lot because I am a writer. I have written thousands of blog posts, 9 books, and I have gotten really prolific at writing, something that I believe that ChatGPT has gotten much better yet. Something that I have personally seen ChatGPT and the GPT models 3, 3.5, 4, now we've got 0.1, we've got GPT-5 coming. Every time a new model launches inside ChatGPT, the writing portion gets way better. Now, I've put Claude to the test, Gemini to the test. I've even used Perplexity's AI writer. And I'm telling you, there's no writer that writes more useful, practical, non-fluff, good content than ChatGPT. But it's all in how you use it. And I'm going to show you how to use a custom GPT that will actually crawl the web and prompt it with a specific word that starts that web crawl. And yes, I am YouTubing while I'm at another conference. I'm out here in Dallas, Texas, speaking at a conference, and I was working with these LLMs, testing Claude, Perplexity, ChatGPT to see if I could get a human-like 2,000 word blog in under 20 minutes, and I did it. Late into the day, I forgot about my YouTube lighting, and we're actually at the end of the day, which is why the lighting is crappy. But I've got some great content to share with you in this tutorial, which is why I wanted to keep on and film, even though yes, this isn't the best lighting. So with that out of the way, let's jump into it, the full tutorial on how to use ChatGPT to write an EEAT-friendly, SEO optimized, human-like, high-quality piece of content in under 20 minutes. Now, to do this, you're going to need the ChatGPT Plus subscription. It's $20 a month, so make sure you have that as you follow these directions. Here is every step on how to write a 2,000-word SEO optimized blog post that will also get indexed by chatbots because we've optimized it to an over 70 SEO score. And I'm going to show you every step how we did this in ChatGPT OpenAI, which I believe is the best LLM if you want to do this with just 2 prompts and then about 15 minutes of human editing. All in all, under 20 minutes to get to this blog post I'm scrolling through right here, which is original, passes AI detection, has engaging content pieces in it like tables. This table even has shadowing effects. And we've got the links to all of our facts and they're current. So I'm going to show you how to do this. So you're going to need a ChatGPT Plus subscription. $20 a month is well worth it. And you're going to go click Explore GPTs and you're going to find the GPT called Web Pilot, which you can see up there on the left. I've got it pinned. Once you find that custom GPT, you're going to open it. You're going to click Start Chat. You can also go up here to these 3 dots and click Pin. I already have it on my sidebar. That's why it's not showing. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to start your prompt inside this custom GPT. Now, the reason we're doing that is this is a web crawler. So it searches and browses the web as it writes. If you don't use a custom GPT that does that, you're just depending on that LLM, which does not pull real time from Google yet. I'm sure that will change in the months to come. All right, so let me show you how to do this in just 2 prompts. So first of all, you need a core thought, you need a fact or two, and then you need a takeaway or two. And you need to know what your keyword's going to be as well. So here's the keyword that I'm going after. GEO, Generative Engine Optimization. The main keyword is this, Generative Engine Optimization, but you don't really want to focus on the keyword in your prompt. And this is how you're going to get better content that still hits over 70 SEO score, like this blog post we did in under 20 minutes with 2 prompts. Okay, so you're not going to tell it to focus on the keyword. Instead, you're going to treat the keyword as if it's the topic. And this is how to get beautiful content out of ChatGPT. Now, I've tried Claude, Gemini, even Perplexity, and it does not give me the actionable, helpful content that ChatGPT does. So that's the difference, and that's why I would absolutely go straight to ChatGPT and use the Plus subscription. Okay, so here's what we're going to tell it. We're going to tell it to crawl the web to get current facts. That's very important. Make sure you start that in your conversation with Web Pilot whenever you start the chat here. So that's how you're going to start the prompt. Crawl the web to get current facts. If you don't say that, it won't actually start the crawl. So that's very important. And then you're going to say this and give me an outline. You're not going to have it write the full blog yet. You're going to have it write the outline. Give me an outline for a comprehensive blog post. And then you're going to tell it this. On the topic of, and then you're going to insert your keyword, and then you're going to insert a supporting statement and how it's displacing SEO. So your supporting statement should be something that you're going to prove inside the blog post on that keyword or topic. Very important. Okay, so now you got to add some meat, original thoughts. You can see my original thoughts run pretty deep. So I've got several points here. You could have just 3 sentences as the main thought. That's fine for me. I have a lot of original thoughts on this topic because I've studied it, I've tested it. So I'm going to write all those original thoughts down. And I'm going to write it like so, with a little M dash, and then we're just going to keep going. So I have about 9 points here, and then I'm wrapping up with, I believe this is a big shift and a big change, which is like a little takeaway. And then I'm going to end it with this, ask me any clarifying questions. So it'll ask me a question if it feels that this is not sufficient. All right, so there we go. That's our first prompt. It's going to start a crawl, and that crawl will then help it create the full outline. You should see some really good stuff coming together in this outline, some very specific, helpful stuff. As we can see right here, like, bam, this is dialed in, good stuff. It's talking about very specific things like schema for person, place, organization. I mean, that is so on point. And this is a fairly new topic, so I'm impressed. I truly believe you can do almost any kind of writing you need inside ChatGPT, especially now that we've got O1 with reasoning. Although I'm just using the custom GPT web pilot because I want it to reference the web. But the writer in OpenAI ChatGPT is so good past 4.0 that I believe we can write almost any content with it. Okay, so after it gives you that outline, you're going to tell it this. Crawl the web, start with that again, to find current facts as you write a full blog on this topic. Make sure the names of resources mentioned, studies cited, tools referenced are current and up to date. Write this to Google's EAT standards to be helpful, in-depth, and valuable. Bam, you're going to get the full blog post, and it's even going to link to the facts, as you can see here. Now, at this point, your blog is 90% done. So to grab it from here, you could use, I was testing multiple prompts, but really this is where I stopped and I hit publish because it's so good. So you could hit copy, but if you do that, it's going to copy it in Markdown, which I'll show you what that looks like. Looks like this. I prefer to copy it straight from the web browser, and maybe this interface will change in the future, but what you're going to do is basically just take that whole piece, you're going to copy it, you're going to throw it in a Google Doc. This is an important step. Okay, you're going to throw the whole thing in a Google Doc, and then you're going to select all, you're going to unbold. Okay, Then you're going to unbold. So you have to bold once, bold again. I'm using a shortcut key, but you could just hit that. That's important because otherwise it's going to copy in your WordPress post and it's going to copy in bold lettering. Okay, so now you're going to start a new post in your WordPress site so that you can place it in. So for the purposes of this, I'll just go ahead and do that. So we're going to click add new post in WordPress and we're going to drop this bad boy in right here. And it's going to paste in everything that we were looking at. Okay. And okay, so as you can see, what I'm trying to find right now, as you can see, is we've got this beautiful little table here. So I'm trying to figure out at what point, because I don't have that table in that current post. At what point did we have that table in there? Okay, here we go. We've got the table in here. So what prompted that table? Okay. We added this point in. Support points with graphs, tables, and lists to make the content more engaging where it fits. Okay. So we had that in the other prompt. So if it doesn't do that the first time, just regenerate it. Because here we actually got the tables. In the other one we didn't. And sometimes that's what you're dealing with in these LLMs. You're dealing with broken technology that doesn't always work, that breaks sometimes. So here it also broke in the middle of writing that third point. So we had to tell it to keep going. So I'm going to grab all of this, put it together. We had to click keep going. So if you see it cut off in the middle of a point, just tell it that. Tell it to keep going and finish writing the complete blog in this style. Make sure you put in this style so it does that. Okay, so now we've got the full piece with the table, which was originally missing. So again, we're going to unbold. We're going to remove these line breaks. I've tried prompting it, remove the line breaks, but then it messes up the entire formatting, which you don't want to do. Those H2s are so beautiful right now, and these points are so good. Okay, so now we can copy that whole thing, and it's going to be close to 90% ready to go. So here's where we added a new post in WordPress. We're going to copy and paste the whole thing. Bam, we've got our tables and they look dang good. So now here's where in the references it gave us, we're going to grab those and copy and paste the ones that are relevant and drop that as a link. Here's where you're going to do a little bit of human editing, right? So you're going to link to that source with the link it gave us and then link to it again down here. And if there's anywhere else where it's referencing a source, we're going to go back because we asked it, remember in the prompt, we said list citations and references for any facts made. And that's how we got to that list of sources right here. Boom, powerful. All right, so now we want to go through it and make sure it's not referencing anything wrong. So as you can see, it references Bard. Well, that's been retired. There is no Bard. So we're going to put Perplexity. So you just want to go through this by eye. LLMs, that'll capture. Just want to go through it by eye and make sure that it reads well, looks good. However, at this point, and I went up here and removed Bing and replaced it with Claude and other LLMs, or not Bing, I removed Bard. At this point, though, this article is really, really dang good. So your work should be no more than roughly 10 minutes to read and edit, because it's doing such a great job. We fed it some meat, right? We fed it that original thought, and then we guided it with a follow-up prompt that told it to write helpful content. And if you run this through an AI detector, you're going to get human-like results. It's pretty amazing. So now you can tell it to write a meta description for this article. So you can follow up and have it do that. So typically the meta descriptions are a little long, but all you have to do is grab that first sentence. And it's already going to be optimized with your keyword, because again, we treated the keyword like a topic. Very important to get that EAT nature out of this. So now we're going to drop that into our rank. We have the rank math. You might have the all-in-one or the Yoast. We're going to drop that in right here, single sentence. Make sure this is all filled out and put in what your focus keyword is. As soon as you drop all that in, that's your meta optimization. You should see an over 70 score pop up from your rank math or other SEO plugin. Very important. This should go without saying, but if you don't have a good website, you don't have somebody that has designed it, you're not going to get a beautiful blog post like this, right? I don't control this. I had all this designed so that it shows up all the time and looks like this every time I plug in a blog post. So that's design, that's UX. If you're like, well, my blog doesn't look that pretty, Julia, go find a web designer, please. All right, so moving on. So the last piece of this is your featured image. And I'm going to show you a really, really quick way to do that as well in ding, 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 ChatGPT, of course. So you're going to go click Explore GPTs. You're going to find Dolly. I've got mine pinned right here. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to tell it to create an image. You're going to give it the WordPress header size, which is 1920 by 1080. That's the blog post header. And then you're going to give it a scene that describes what you want to do. So for me, I want robots working in an office, a little bit of fantasy fiction feel. And we're just going to recreate that for every single blog post in a different style. And bam, that gets us this beautiful image, which we then download straight from here. You can see it downloads as a nice WebP, just a little bit leaner form of a JPEG. And then I'm going to rename it with my focus keyword, SEO versus GEO or GEO. So make sure you rename that file with the keyword. That just optimizes it a little bit more, and every little gain is a big gain when it comes to blog posts. All right, then you're going to upload that image. I'm going to get out of the Rank Math SEO plugin, go back to the post setting, and you're going to upload that image right here. And then you hit save, and you, my friend, have a blog post ready to rank in the top of Google for your keyword that looks this beautiful. If you got some good from this tutorial, or if you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know if you tested it out, put it to use. Another common question I get is, well, Julia, what's the difference between these LLMs and an AI platform? If you want more than just writing, go to the platforms. I believe the best AI platforms out there are automating entire departmental goals. And by that, I mean more than just writing. So if the platform you're paying for is just an API call to a single LLM, well, you're really paying for something you don't need. But if the platform you're using does more things than just writing, like let's say automates the entire publishing of content, auditing of your site, link building, topical clusters, SEO research, and functions that a team would normally have to do with other tools, that's where these platforms come into play. But if you just need writing alone, ChatGPT, as you saw in this tutorial, is an amazing resource. And my personal favorite, I use my ChatGPT Plus subscription all the time. There's no better tool I can think of. All right, I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. Definitely, if you tested these steps out and put it to use, If you have an example of content you wrote, or should I say ChatGPT wrote, I would love to see it. The copy that I used in those 2 prompts will be in the description of this video, so be sure to check that out so you can copy and paste those as you work inside ChatGPT. Be sure to hit subscribe if you haven't. Follow me here on YouTube at Julie McCoy, and I'll see you down the next AI rabbit hole.